The Riverside Country Club had been my family's social anchor for 3 generations. My grandfather's portrait hung in the main dining room, his name engraved on a bronze plaque near the tennis courts. Every major family milestone had happened within these walls: christenings, graduations, my parents' 30th anniversary. Tonight was my brother's engagement party. I arrived at 6:52 p.m. The valet took one look at my rental car, a basic Toyota Camry from the airport, and directed me to park it myself in the auxiliary lot behind the maintenance building. I didn't argue. I'd flown in from Seattle that morning with barely enough time to shower and change at a hotel near O'Hare. My brother Jason was marrying Penelope Ashford, whose family owned the 3rd largest commercial real estate portfolio in Illinois. The engagement party had been planned for 8 months. 250 guests. Past hors d'oeuvres. A string quartet. An ice sculpture of interlocking hearts. I'd received my invitation 6 weeks ago via email. No phone call. No personal note. Inside, the ballroom glowed with amber uplighting. White roses everywhere. I recognized most of the faces: my father's banking colleagues, my mother's garden club friends, the families who'd summered with us in Lake Geneva since I was 12. My mother spotted me first. She was standing near the bar with my Aunt Caroline, both holding champagne. Her smile froze when she saw me. "Alexis," she said. "You came. Jason invited me." "Yes, of course. I just thought with your schedule." She glanced at my dress, navy blue, professional, the same one I'd worn to a pitch meeting in San Francisco last month. "You look tired, sweetheart. 11-hour day yesterday." I took the red eye. Aunt Caroline leaned in, her perfume overwhelming. "Still doing the tech thing? Your mother mentioned you were working with computers." "I run a software company." Right. Jason was telling everyone about his promotion. Senior vice president at 42. "Your father must be so proud." My mother touched my elbow. "The receiving line is almost done. You should say hello before the toasts start." I found Jason near the entrance, shaking hands with a couple I didn't recognize. He was wearing a custom suit, his hair perfectly styled, his smile practiced and bright. Penelope stood beside him in a cream-colored dress that probably cost more than my monthly rent used to cost. Jason saw me and his expression shifted: surprise, then something like annoyance. "Alex," he said. "You made it. Congratulations. Both of you." Penelope extended a limp hand. "Thank you. Jason's told me so much about you." "Has he? He mentioned you live in Seattle." "How adventurous." Jason put his arm around her waist. "Alex works in tech. She runs a small software startup." "Not that small," I said quietly. "Right. Well. Still, it's brave. Most people wouldn't take that kind of risk." He turned to greet another guest, effectively dismissing me. I found my assigned seat, table 14, near the kitchen doors. I was seated with 2 of Jason's college friends I'd met once, a great-aunt who was mostly deaf, and 3 teenagers I didn't recognize. My father appeared at 7:30, moving through the room like a politician working a crowd. He spotted me and made his way over, his smile already fading. "Alexis. Glad you could make time. I wouldn't miss Jason's engagement." "Of course not." He glanced around the table, taking in my distant seating assignment. "How's the business going?" "Still, what do you call it?" "Cloud services? Enterprise cybersecurity software." "Right. That." He sipped his scotch. Jason just closed a $40 million commercial loan package. Largest in his division's history. That's real achievement, Alexis. Tangible results. I'm happy for him. Are you? He studied me. Because from where I'm standing, you threw away a perfectly good career in finance to play around with computers in Seattle. You're 33 years old. Most women your age are thinking about stability. Marriage. Maybe children. I'm thinking about those things. Are you? Because all I see is you chasing some fantasy that's going to blow up the minute the market shifts. He leaned closer. You had offers from Goldman Sachs. J.P. Morgan. I made calls for you, Alexis. I opened doors. I didn't want those doors. No. You wanted to prove something. And look where it got you, living in a one-bedroom apartment 3,000 miles from your family, working 80-hour weeks for a company that probably won't exist in 5 years. The table had gone quiet. The teenagers were staring at their phones, pretending not to listen. Dad. Do you know what people ask me? When they hear what you do. He didn't wait for an answer. They ask if you need help. If something went wrong. If I failed as a father. His voice rose slightly. You could have been something, Alexis. Instead, you're embarrassing this family with your tech pipe dreams and your stubborn pride. Charles. My mother appeared beside him, her hand on his arm. The toasts are about to start. I'm having a conversation with my daughter. You're making a scene. He straightened his jacket. We'll discuss this later. Try to look pleasant during the speeches. The toasts began at 8 o'clock. Jason's best man went first, telling stories about fraternity parties and golf trips. Penelope's father spoke about tradition and legacy. My father stood at the microphone and talked about Jason's work ethic, his dedication, his bright future at First Midwest Bank. He didn't mention me once. At 8:47, the ballroom doors opened. I noticed because a cold draft swept through the room, making the candles flicker. A woman walked in, flanked by 2 assistants. She was maybe 55, silver hair in a sharp bob, wearing a charcoal pantsuit that probably cost $10,000. The conversations died in waves. People turned. My father set down his glass. Catherine? Catherine Wolfe. I recognized her from every business publication in print. CEO of Wolfe Capital Partners, one of the largest venture capital firms in North America. Forbes had ranked her the 18th most powerful woman in business. Her fund had backed 17 unicorn companies in the last decade. Charles, Catherine said, her heels clicking across the marble floor. I apologize for the interruption. I've been trying to reach someone all evening. My father moved toward her, hand extended. Of course. Whatever you need. I had no idea you knew Jason. I'm not here for Jason. Catherine's eyes scanned the room. I'm looking for Alexis Brennan. Every head swiveled toward table 14. The room went completely silent. I stood slowly, my chair scraping against the floor. Catherine Wolfe was already moving toward me, her expression focused and intense. Ms. Brennan, she said. I've been calling your office for 6 hours. Your CFO finally told me you'd be here. My father stepped forward. I'm sorry, Catherine, but there must be some mistake. This is my daughter. She runs a small tech startup in Sentinel Systems, Catherine interrupted, still looking at me. Enterprise cybersecurity with AI-driven threat detection. 73 enterprise clients including Microsoft, Boeing, and the Department of Defense. Current annual recurring revenue of $214 million. The room erupted in whispers. Ms. Brennan, I need 15 minutes of your time. My team finished the valuation analysis this afternoon and were prepared to make an offer. I glanced at my father. His face had gone white. What kind of offer? I asked. Wolfe Capital Partners is prepared to invest $380 million for a 40% stake in Sentinel Systems, at a pre-money valuation of $950 million. She pulled out her phone. That values your company at approximately $1.3 billion post-money. You'd retain majority control and CEO authority. Someone gasped. I think it was Aunt Caroline. I'd need to see the term sheet, I said. I have it here. She gestured to one of her assistants, who handed her a tablet. We're offering a board seat, strategic advisory services, and access to our full portfolio network. The valuation includes a performance acceleration clause. If you hit your projected benchmarks next quarter, we'll increase to a $1.5 billion valuation. My father found his voice. Catherine, surely this can wait until. It can't wait. I have 3 other portfolio companies that need my attention this week, and if Ms. Brennan isn't interested, I'm moving on to alternative opportunities. She looked at me. I'm flying to London tomorrow morning. I need your answer tonight. I need to consult with my board. Your board is you, your CTO, and your CFO. I spoke with both of them an hour ago. They're standing by for your call. Jason pushed through the crowd. Alex, what the hell is going on? Catherine Wolfe just offered to invest $380 million in my company. Your company? His voice cracked. What company? Penelope's father stepped forward, his phone already out. I'm looking this up. Sentinel Systems. It's real. They were featured in TechCrunch last month. And they have a DoD contract for, Jesus Christ, $140 million over 3 years. My mother grabbed my arm. Alexis, why didn't you tell us? I tried. You weren't listening. That's not. Mom. I pulled my arm free gently. Last Thanksgiving, I mentioned I'd signed my 20th enterprise client. You asked if I was running a pyramid scheme. I didn't. You did. In front of everyone. And Dad told me I was wasting my MBA chasing fad technology that would be obsolete in 2 years. Catherine checked her watch. Ms. Brennan, I don't mean to rush you, but I have a dinner meeting in 40 minutes. Give me 10 minutes to make some calls. Take 15. I'll wait in the lobby. She walked out, her assistants following. The silence she left behind was deafening. My father stared at me like I was a stranger. $1.3 billion? Post-money valuation. Pre-money is $950. How is this possible? I built it. 6 years of 18-hour days, 7-day weeks, every dollar I had. Jason was looking at his phone, his face pale. You're on the Forbes Cloud 100 list. You've been on it for 3 years. I know. Why didn't you say anything? I did. Multiple times. None of you cared. Penelope's father was still reading from his phone. Your company detects cyber threats using machine learning algorithms. You have 83 employees across 3 offices. Last year you raised a Series B of $75 million at a $400 million valuation. He looked up. Charles, your daughter is running a unicorn company. My father's scotch glass slipped from his hand and shattered on the marble floor. Alexis. My mother's voice was shaking. Sweetheart, I don't understand. If you had this kind of success, why didn't you? I told you. At Christmas 2 years ago. I said Sentinel had just signed a contract with Boeing for $8 million. You asked if it was a scam. I kept my voice level. Dad spent 20 minutes explaining why enterprise software was a bubble industry and why I should come back to Chicago and work at his bank. In the commercial lending department. At $62,000 a year. I was trying to help you. You were trying to control me. I looked at Jason. You told me last summer that I was still playing with computers while you were building a real career. You said it in front of Penelope's entire family. Jason's face went red. I didn't mean. You meant it. You've always meant it. All of you. I looked around the room. You decided I was a failure the moment I left Chicago. You didn't check if it was true. You just assumed. My father stepped forward. That's not fair, Alexis. We're your family. We love you. You love the version of me that fits your expectations. The one who failed and came back. The one who proved you right. That's not. Dad. I cut him off. 30 minutes ago, you told 250 people that I was embarrassing the family. You said my company wouldn't exist in 5 years. And now Catherine Wolfe is in the lobby waiting to give me $380 million. I picked up my purse. So let's be very clear about who's embarrassed right now. The crowd parted as I walked toward the lobby. No one said a word. Catherine was sitting in a leather armchair near the windows, scrolling through her phone. She stood when I approached. I need 20 minutes, I said. Not 15. Take them. I called Marcus, my CTO, first. Then Jennifer, my CFO. We conference called with our attorney while I sat in my rental car in the parking lot, reviewing the term sheet line by line. The deal was exceptional. 40% equity for $380 million. 2 board seats for Wolfe Capital, 3 for me and my team. Liquidation preferences were reasonable. The performance accelerator was aggressive but achievable. Strategic advisory included introductions to 23 companies in Catherine's portfolio. This is a rocket ship deal, Jennifer said. She's essentially betting her reputation that we're going to be worth $5 billion in 3 years. What's the downside? I asked. We give up some autonomy. We have board oversight. And if we miss benchmarks, the valuation stays flat. We won't miss benchmarks. Marcus laughed. No, we won't. Alexis, Jennifer said carefully, are you sure you want to take this call tonight? With your family right there? I'm sure. Okay. Then I say we take it. Marcus? Hell yes. Let's do it. I walked back inside. Catherine was waiting exactly where I'd left her. I accept your offer, I said. With 2 modifications. I'm listening. First, I want quarterly vesting on the performance accelerator instead of annual. If we hit benchmarks, the valuation adjusts immediately. Agreed. Second, I want you on the board as an active advisor, not just an investor. 2 meetings per quarter minimum. I can do that. She extended her hand. Welcome to the Wolfe Capital family. We shook. Her grip was firm and cool. My attorney will send the revised term sheet tonight. We can sign tomorrow if your legal team is ready. They're ready. We walked back into the ballroom together. The party had disintegrated into small clusters of people talking in urgent whispers. Catherine went straight to my father, who was standing near the bar with my mother and Jason. Charles, thank you for hosting such a lovely event. I apologize again for the interruption. My father couldn't meet her eyes. Of course. I am, we're all very surprised. You should be proud. Your daughter built something remarkable. She turned to me. I'll see you tomorrow at 10. My office in the Loop. I'll be there. She left. The doors closed behind her with a soft click. Jason found his voice first. Alex, this is. I don't even know what to say. You don't need to say anything. No, I do. I was wrong. About everything. I should have. Jason. I kept my tone neutral. Congratulations on your engagement. I hope you and Penelope are very happy. I turned to leave. My father stepped in front of me. Alexis, please. We need to talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. Like hell there isn't. You made me look like a fool. I made you look like a fool. I stared at him. Dad, you did that yourself. 30 minutes ago, in front of 250 people, you said I was embarrassing the family. You said my company was a fantasy. Those were your words. I didn't know. You didn't ask. There's a difference. I stepped around him. I have a meeting tomorrow morning at 10. I need to prepare. Alexis. My mother's voice broke. Please don't leave like this. We can fix this. There's nothing to fix, Mom. You all made it very clear what you think of me and my choices. The only difference now is that you're wrong, and everyone knows it. Penelope's father approached, his hand extended. Ms. Brennan, I don't think we've been properly introduced. Douglas Ashford. I'd love to discuss your expansion plans. My firm specializes in commercial real estate, and if you're looking for office space for growth. I'm not interested, I said. I understand this isn't the time, but perhaps we could schedule. Mr. Ashford, 30 minutes ago you stood by while my father publicly humiliated me. You didn't say a word. Now you want to talk business? I smiled pleasantly. The answer is no. His face flushed. I was simply trying to profit from a situation you helped create. I understand perfectly. I looked around the room. If you'll all excuse me. I walked out. Behind me, I heard my father say something sharp, heard my mother's voice rise in protest, heard the murmur of 250 people realizing they just witnessed something they'd be talking about for years. I didn't look back. The deal closed on November 17. Wolfe Capital Partners issued a press release announcing their investment in Sentinel Systems, describing it as a strategic partnership with one of the fastest-growing cybersecurity companies in the enterprise space. TechCrunch ran the story. The Wall Street Journal followed. Bloomberg featured me in their Rising Stars in Tech segment. My father called 11 times in 3 days. I didn't answer. My mother sent flowers to my office with a card that read, "So proud of you. Please call." I sent a thank you note and nothing else. Jason sent a long text message apologizing, explaining that he'd been under stress, that he'd always believed in me, that he wanted to make things right. He suggested I might want to invest in some of Penelope's family's real estate projects. I didn't respond. 6 weeks after the deal closed, I was in New York meeting with potential DoD contractors when my phone rang. It was Catherine. Your father's attorney contacted my office, she said. He wants to schedule a meeting. Says your father has some business opportunities he'd like to discuss. I almost laughed. What kind of opportunities? He didn't specify. My assistant told him you were unavailable indefinitely. That works. Alexis, I don't usually offer advice about family matters, but I know. And I appreciate your discretion. For what it's worth, you handled that situation with remarkable grace. Most people would have gloated. I didn't need to gloat. The outcome spoke for itself. Yes, she said. It did. 3 months later, my mother flew to Seattle. She didn't call ahead. She just showed up at Sentinel's headquarters, a full floor in a building downtown with views of Puget Sound, and asked the receptionist if I had time to see her. I considered saying no. But curiosity won. She looked smaller than I remembered. Older. She sat across from my desk and folded her hands in her lap. Your father's retiring, she said. Officially. He's stepping down from the bank's advisory board next month. I didn't know that. No one does yet. He's been struggling since the party. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you? She studied my face. Alexis, he's your father. He made a mistake. Can't you forgive him? I have forgiven him. I'm just not interested in pretending it didn't happen. What does that mean? It means I'm not going to make myself smaller to make him comfortable. I'm not going to downplay my success so he doesn't have to confront his assumptions about me. Her eyes filled with tears. You're punishing him. No. I'm protecting myself. I kept my voice gentle. Mom, for 6 years I built this company while you and Dad and Jason treated me like I was wasting my life. You didn't ask about my work. You didn't celebrate my milestones. You actively discouraged me at every opportunity. We were worried about you. You were worried about your image. There's a difference. That's not fair. Mom, 3 days after the engagement party, Douglas Ashford called me wanting to discuss real estate deals. Aunt Caroline sent me an email asking if I needed financial advice. Jason suggested I invest in his projects. I leaned forward. None of you congratulated me. Not one word of genuine pride or happiness. Just people trying to figure out how to profit from my success. She wiped her eyes. What do you want from us? Nothing. That's the point. So that's it? You're just cutting us off. I'm not cutting you off. You can call me. Visit. Send cards. But it's going to be on my terms. I'm not going to manage your feelings about my success. We're your family, Alexis. Then act like it. See me for who I am, not who you wanted me to be. She stood up slowly. Your father wants to apologize. In person. Then he can call me himself. He's too proud. I know. That's his problem, not mine. She left without another word. My father never called. 8 months after the engagement party, Sentinel Systems hit every benchmark in our performance accelerator clause. The valuation jumped to $1.5 billion. Forbes put me on their self-made women list. The company had grown to 137 employees. We'd opened a 4th office in Austin. I received a wedding invitation in June. Jason and Penelope. Ceremony at Riverside Country Club. Reception to follow. I sent a generous gift and a polite note declining to attend. On a Tuesday morning in September, I was reviewing Q3 projections when my assistant buzzed my office. There's a Charles Brennan here to see you. He doesn't have an appointment, but he says he's your father. I took a slow breath. Send him in. He walked in like he was entering a courtroom, shoulders back, chin up, but his eyes were uncertain. He'd lost weight. His hair had gone grayer. Alexis, he said. Dad. Your office is impressive. Thank you. I won't take much of your time. I know you're busy. He stayed standing. I came to apologize. For what I said at Jason's party. And for everything before that. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What do you want me to say? I want you to. I don't know. Accept my apology. Let me back in. Dad, you're not locked out. You're standing in my office right now. But you won't talk to me. You won't return calls. Your mother says you're punishing us. I'm not punishing anyone. I'm just living my life without needing your approval. He flinched. I was wrong about you. About your company. I see that now. Because Catherine Wolfe wrote me a check for $380 million. If she hadn't shown up, you'd still think I was a failure. That's not true. It is true. And that's what makes this hard, Dad. You don't respect me. You respect my valuation. His face reddened. I'm here, aren't I? I'm apologizing. You're here because it's embarrassing to tell people your daughter is a billionaire and you don't speak to her. I stood up. I appreciate the apology. Really. But it doesn't change what happened, and it doesn't mean things go back to normal. What does it mean? It means we start over. Slowly. If you can accept that I don't need your guidance or your approval or your business advice. If you can just let me be successful without making it about you. He was quiet for a long moment. I can try. That's all I'm asking. He nodded slowly. Your mother misses you. I miss her too. Maybe you could come to dinner sometime. Nothing formal. Just the 4 of us. Maybe. I'll think about it. He turned to leave, then stopped. For what it's worth, I am proud of you. Even if I'm terrible at showing it. Thank you. After he left, I stood at my office window and looked out at the city. The skyline was sharp against the afternoon sun. My company was thriving. My team was brilliant. My life was exactly what I'd built it to be. I didn't feel angry anymore. I didn't feel victorious. I just felt free.